Part 8 of the CV2 Any% tutorial, Dracula's Mansion. Now we don't know the subpixel value for this drop generally, but if you do the same movement I do, you should be fine. In most cases we should be fine. Break those 2 blocks, do the drop, and proceed. It's a pretty straightforward mansion, but there are a couple of time saves we can do, so be sure to nail them every time. Give it some practice. Jump up here, you can actually stand on this one. Also worth mentioning, if you break more blocks up there with all the water, it will cause for some more lag. Now your foot should be slightly outside of that edge. If we jump and bop our head here, we're fucked. If we drop down, we're fucked. The idea is to jump off, then jump up, and then drop. Of course, I failed it, so we can do the reset on the stairs there, and go for it again. That's still faster than taking the stairs down. Now this scene here is just automatic, you don't have to actually walk up to the altar as long as you just transition in here. And just don't jump up here and do that mistake. Need to focus. I'll switch to dagger here just to showcase it as well. Timer ends when your health on the screen disappears. That's when you should split. Boom. GG. Easy peasy. Sure. So, here's the thing about that perfect 60, which I only did half of for the 30. Don't lose any frames in doing so. I am extremely slow on it, I cannot optimize that for shit, so you won't see me going for it, I can't do it. Only 4 people in the world have actually done it. All of them, as far as we know, on console. No one, as far as we know, on emulator. It probably doesn't make that much of a difference, it should still be possible. I'm just spouting it out there so people know. What can be said about that kill then? If you go for the dagger, it's free. It costs 40 hearts if you want to go for all dagger, that's 20 daggers. But you cannot mess that up. That's free every time. If you die or game over inside this mansion only, you will be respawned here. And the game will actually be forgiving enough that it will spawn you with the hearts needed for the dagger kill. So if you were to die there, trying to complete the game for your first time, don't reset, don't quit, just go through this mansion again and kill him with the new hearts you got. So that's pretty good advice and information to know about. For the whip kill itself, don't lose any frames for it. Worth mentioning is that pressing A and B on the same frame means that Simon won't actually jump up to begin with, so you need to press jump just 1 frame prior. And as well, you can never mash the whip, you need to time it. And we covered this briefly during the spider boost en route to Ribbit Mansion. Whipping standing lose you the most frames, which is why we try to jump whip enemies. But you can also optimize that. As you can see here, I'm holding the directional input here, trying to walk, and you still see Simon slowing down. But if I were to actually try to time the whip better in air, I still get the enemy kill and I lose fewer frames. That's what the whole Dracula kill is about, basically, is trying to lose as few frames as possible. And also, this second whip needs to come out pretty early. The hitbox for the boss itself is a little bit wonky, so if I were to just maybe just make it out there, it just wouldn't hit him. So it needs to be out a lot earlier, like there or something like that. So there's a timing for it, you need to be very precise on it. And likewise, when you do land with it, I mean, you can see the animation there versus, you know, there. That's all I can say about it is all about saving as many frames as possible, and it is a very, 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 very precise kill for a long duration of the fight and for a lot of inputs. But that's the idea of it. If you go all dagger compared to whipping generally, you might lose 20-25 seconds. Whipping, as a given rule, is always going to be faster. So even if you can implement just half of that kill, like I did here, it still would be faster than tossing all those 20 daggers. So here, for instance, I could just use half of the whipping with 10 daggers, and I still would save myself probably 10 seconds from just using daggers entirely. But it all comes down to your execution level of the whip itself. If you're gonna go for it, you're gonna have to practice it a lot. Even the top runners generally don't enjoy it because it's such a precise kill. But of course you can still learn it with precision. If you cannot learn it, I mean, you're still gonna be having a good time, you're still gonna go be good, but you're gonna be more heart dependent because you need hearts for the dagger. So RNG can have a factor for that. Generally it is better to learn the whip kill if you can. That being said, I mean, you're still gonna be able to get good times for your runs without the whip kill, but you might have a harder time going for the world record if that's what your intention is. So the whip kill is the preferred way to doing it. It's just extremely hard if you want to optimize the game. But that's pretty much wrapping up the N% tutorial. That's wrapping up Dracula's Mansion, and we're done. That is generally it. Now, before we quit here, I just want to point out that there has been development in the games even during this process of making this tutorial, which took maybe a month or two. There is a new zombie grind out for the chain whip that I will be covering in the next recording. It will be in the same playlist, just outside of the tutorial, so to speak. This basically negates the RNG heart issue we had with chain whip in the past. This will pretty much put you through that every time. So don't fret if that's of concern for you, and we will be covering it. But I'll just put it in here that it is a new thing. As for the rest of it, we will do